Hello and welcome back to another one of my FBR videos, and in this video of course is my team selection ahead of game week 8, and you've seen it by the thumbnail. I have activated the wildcard chip for this game week. Reason is, maybe I could have held off a little longer, but when I had certain injuries to certain players like i.e. Botman and of course Saka going off injured early in that Champions League game last night, I figured, you know what, I want to get rid of my players now, because overall that took it to about 10 players I fancy getting rid of, because obviously Arsenal's fixtures are tough, Chelsea's fixtures are going to be a nightmare. I've got a couple of Luton players that I don't really fancy anymore on my team. Brighton's fixtures are now swung, and obviously I've got Pickford in goal, so he's somebody who's got to go. And I've got Man United assets that just don't perform at all. So I felt like it is now the time, really. You know what? I may as well wildcard. So what we'll do is we'll go through how I got on last week in game week 7 first, and then we'll look at my wildcard team for game week 8. So let's go through my team then from game week 7. As you can see, I scored 64 points overall, so it got me a nice green arrow, which to be fair, I should be buzzing about. But it started off really well, and I felt like it just fizzled out. Because obviously, I had Chelsea the other night, I had Luton last night, and those two players in Morris and Sterling just ended up going, was that it? 2 points out of 2 games? Yeah, I was hoping for a lot more, particularly from Sterling there, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, overall, I should be happy. I think just because obviously it fizzled out at the end. If it was the other way around and it started off like that and finished the way it did, then yeah, I'd probably been a lot more buzzing. But I can't complain. 64 points and a green arrow. Happy days there. So let's go through the team then. And in goal, I went with Jordan Pickford. The streak continues, doesn't it? No clean sheets. But I did say in last week's video that this is the week that I actually don't want him to keep a clean sheet. I need Morris to score, which did happen, to be fair. But yeah, 1 point overall. I wasn't expecting Luton to actually win the game. I thought might get a lucky goal. So the fact that he conceded 2 goals, doesn't surprise me. But at the same time, God, Everton's defence is awful. And then obviously I had Turn on the bench, who actually got a bonus point, a save point, should I say. So I have 3 points. So I picked the wrong goalkeeper again. What a shock. So anyway, yeah, disappointed from the keepers again. Hence why I want a wild card, because you know what, I am not happy, particularly with Pickford and Everton overall. It's been shocking. But yeah, only 1 point from Pickford. At the back, to be fair, pretty decent at the back. I did say last week I was expecting a good lot of returns for the defence. The one was a Kanji, which did shock me, because let's face it, who expected Man City to lose to Wolves 2-1? I know I didn't, and I'm sure most other people didn't. So only 1 point from Akanji. So, the only positive thing with Akanji is he starts consistently for Man City. So, he hasn't actually been a headache like I expected. He had that one game where he was out due to an illness, which obviously we weren't told about until like the last second. But overall, he's been pretty decent throughout the season. It's just a shame that Man City have been struggling to keep clean sheets. Because I think I could have had a lot more points, but well, obviously, I would have had a lot more points if they kept clean sheets. There's just so many games where they won by 3 goals to 4 goals, but they can see that 1 goal. It's frustrating. But yeah, so 1 point for Akanji was disappointing. I got a nice clean sheet there from Saliba, which I kind of was expecting. I felt like it was an easy fixture Bournemouth was. So yeah, happy with that from Saliba. And then Kieran Trippier, he's done it again. That's now 30 points in 2 game weeks from Kieran Trippier. Another 12 pointer, another assist, another clean sheet, 3 bonus points. Oh my God, if that continues, that would be beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But yeah, great performance again from Trippier. Yes, it was Burnley, but you can only beat the team you're playing in front of you. Newcastle did it. Another clean sheet. Happy days. Great performance there. And then when you look at the bench options, I had Botman, who it turns out isn't out for just a week. He's actually out for a month, they're saying. So that was quite a surprise, because obviously, to be fair, I was going to leave him on my bench anyway. I was going to say it was a shame I missed out on him, but he was going to sit on my bench because I was adamant Man City was keeping a clean sheet against Wolves. So how wrong was I there? So yeah, unfortunately, Botman's out for a while. And also, Espinina, God, I said that wrong again, didn't I? -2 points. Thank God I didn't start him in that game week. I did say that fixture was going to be a tough one. I wasn't expecting it to be a 6-1 kind of game, though. That did shock me. So, fair play to Villa, but yeah, wasn't expecting that at all. And all I can say is thank God Sterling came on in that game the other day. So yeah, it was yes. Was it yesterday? No, it was the other day now. Blimey, that's going fast. But yeah, thank God for that. The fact that he got 0 points actually technically saved me 2 points, says it all there. So yeah, thank God for that I put him on bench. So right time to put him on the bench. In my midfield, I mean, we'll start off United boys. Shocking again, another loss. Crystal Palace at home. I mean, I don't mind if it's a draw. No, it should be a win. You're at Old Trafford. You're supposed to be winning your home games. And Man United have just been poor. Another shocking performance from Rashford, who even came off early. I mean, my patience has gone on him now. It's time to let him go. Just not good enough. Rashford. I mean, the whole Man United performance is just so disappointing. So yeah, shocking from him. 2 points. I mean, both of them still got more from Sterling. You know what? This was probably the most disappointing one of the lot, if I'm being honest. I was so sure. I mean, so many people were saying it ahead of the game that, oh, Jackson's out for obviously one game. Maybe he's going to start Sterling up front. Sterling's going to go up front. No, Sterling was benched for the game. I couldn't believe it. The fact he was benched against Fulham. I thought, yeah, he's going to start at least. I had to look twice when I saw the team sheet to see he was on the bench. I couldn't believe it. And then he's done. I don't know what it is with players that do this, but if they're not starting, they do actually come on when you expect them to start. They get a yellow card, so you don't even get that one appearance point. So nothing from Sterling. I feel like he should have been just a 1 week punt now. If you look at it, got him for Lewin, smashed it, but since then I've had nothing from him. I mean, yes, he was looking lucky 1 week because obviously Jackson missed the sitter, but apart from that, there's been nothing from him since. So yeah. But the time for him is now gone. But yeah, it was just a sad end really for him. Arsenal boys, at least we get to finish on a high in the midfield here. So Martin Odegaard absolutely killed it. I love it when Odegaard actually smashed it because so many people come out and say you want Martinelli instead of Odegaard. Odegaard doesn't get the XG. He's not getting chances. He's playing more defensive. Well, you know, I do the eye test, and I still like the way Odegaard plays, the way he passes. It's great to watch, and it's just such a great performance from it yet again. I mean, yes, maybe a bit lucky with the penalty, the fact that he took it. Don't know what's going on. I ain't got a clue, to be fair, what's going on with the Arsenal penalty taking situation, but he got to take one of the was it 2 or 3? No, it was 2 penalties, wasn't it? So he took one of the 2 penalties, scored it. Got 2 assists in the game as well, and obviously 3 bonus points. 17 points overall. Absolutely smashed it again. Brilliant from him. Really happy with that. And even Saka, 9 points for him. There was obviously that talk whether or not he was going to start or not. I know people sold him, but I thought, you know what, I gambled to be fair, because I actually generally thought Botman was going to play. So in my head I was thinking, don't worry, if Saka don't play, I've got Botman. But Saka, thankfully, he did play. He played 75 minutes, so even then he got subbed off early. But still managed to get us a goal, obviously clean sheet point, but mostly a bonus point as well. So 9 points from Saka. Really happy with that. So yeah, good end to the midfield there. And then finally up from, obviously Woodward on the bench, just 1 point. That doesn't really matter. Erling Haaland, I mean, I expected him to score an hat-trick, I'm not going to lie. I felt like Wolves away was an easy fixture for Man City, really. I'm sure most people did. And I'm pretty sure Haaland scored a hat-trick last time against them. I just thought history was just going to repeat itself. That wasn't the case. I mean, Craig Dawson had him in his back pocket, really. So, bit disappointing, but does it matter? Because everyone captains him, so didn't really lose anything there. And then finally, Carlton Morris, 10 points. You know what? I am going to say I'm happy with it, to be fair, because I took the gamble. I've had him now for 4 game weeks. Well, 4 game weeks, or was it 3 game weeks? What is it? Let me just have a quick check. Not great, is it? So I brought him in for game week 5. So technically, I've had him in for 3 game weeks. He did disappoint against Fulham. Didn't get me anything there. But obviously, he got the goal against Wolves. Then he gets a goal against Everton. And yes, he did blank, obviously, against Burnley. But because it's double game week, technically, I've only had him for 3 game weeks. And yeah, 2 goals in those 3 game weeks. That is pretty decent to be there. So I like to think the gamble did obviously play off. I mean, obviously, it would have been better if I had Watkins. But, you know, what was the chances of that, really? I mean, First hat-trick, was it, for Aston Villa? Or something crazy like that, but yeah. 10 points for Morris. Well, I mean, I did actually expect him to score against Burnley last night. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, so just got a payment push from there, but he got a goal at the end of the day against Everton. He could have got more than one, to be fair. He had chances. But yeah, I'll take the 10 points from him. So yeah, like I said, overall, 64 points. Green arrow, I can't complain about that. So I'll take that every week. Green arrow every week is perfect. So yeah, decent week overall. Right then, so now it's time to go through my wildcard. Now this is not obviously confirmed at all. I'm not going to lie. I'm finding it really difficult on what to do for this week because I've been debating so much about where I should go with this. So there still could be a lot of changes by the time obviously Saturday comes around because I am all over the place now on this wildcard. I was pretty set on how I was going to have my team. But I'm changing my mind. I'm doubting myself, and now I've gone all over the place. So this is going to be my current draft then for this game week coming up. And in goal, I'm going with Areola in goal. I mean, the guy's been great for West Ham. West Ham have been perfect. Whether he will start for me this game week, I'm not actually quite sure. I think I'd probably lean closer to going for, obviously, Turner in goal. I think he does have the better fixture for this game week. So obviously, West Ham playing Newcastle. Yes, it's at home, but Newcastle are pretty decent to be fair. Whereas obviously Turner, Crystal Palace away, that's a pretty decent fixture. I mean, Crystal Palace is also tough, especially at Selhurst Park, but I'm probably leaning more towards him as a starting goalkeeper if I follow through. But I'm pretty confident these are my goalkeepers for this game week and so on. So then, with the defence, I'm going for 3 at the back. Regardless what draft I end up with, it's going to be 3 at the back anyway. And so far, as you can see, I don't have Kieran Trippier in the team. Now, I want Kieran Trippier in my team. I still haven't found a way of getting him in, but I feel like I need him in. I want him in for sure. I mean, the guy's got me 30 points in 2 game weeks, so I'm a little reluctant just to get rid of him like that. But for now, he's not in there. I've got Dan Burn instead now. He starts consistently for Newcastle. I am slightly worried he might get dropped on Sunday because obviously they've got the Champions League game tonight, which we'll have to watch to make sure he don't get injured, like obviously with Saka the night before. But I'm confident still that he will start on Sunday, so for now he's going to be in my team. I also got Matty Cash, who's also got European football this week, so I've got to watch out for that as well. But this guy's been great so far this season. He's got no competition on that right side. Great fixtures coming up. So I have to have Matty Cash in my team. And then finally there's Pedro Porro of Spurs. I've got a Spurs defender in for Luton away. Great plan, I think that is. Now, I've gone for him instead of Udogie because the price is barely anything in it now. It's 0.2 in it. And Pedro Porro, out of the two, is definitely more attacking. So I want to go for more of the more attacking option. So I'm going for Pedro Porro. Good fixtures coming up. And obviously they've got no European football. So he's going to be well rested for Luton. And I think they will do well there. So I'm going for Pedro Porro. And I've got on my bench Gabriel, who's got obviously Man City. That's why he's on the bench. But he's got a couple of decent fixtures after. Yeah, Chelsea looks tough on paper. But I think Arsenal can overcome them. And the Sheffield United. So that's why I've got an Arsenal defender in. Obviously, Gabriel's now 4.7 million. So that's an absolute bargain. So that's why I'm going to stick with Gabriel or stick with an Arsenal defender. And then finally, I've got Kufau as well. I think West Ham's fixtures, they're not too bad to be fair. I mean, they're a little difficult at the minute. Especially the next couple of game weeks, I'd say. But then after that, they're fine. But West Ham, they're playing really well. So I fancy having some West Ham players in my team. Now, he does have European football as well, so he could get injured as well. So I've got to watch out for the European football before I confirm my team. But for now, I've got him in there as well. But like I said, I'm not a massive fan of defence because I want Kieran Trippier in it. But I haven't found a way yet. But I'm happy with Gabriel. He'll be in it. Cash will be in. And Pedro Porro will be in. But still not sure about Bernard and Kufau just yet. So then with my midfield, it'd be a 4-man midfield if I go through this team. So I've got Nakamba on the bench for Luton. I know nothing about him apart from the fact that he starts and he was 4.4 million. That's the only reason why he's in there. He's not in there to play in the future. He's just there to sit on my bench. So that's that done. With the starting midfielders, now I've got Mo Salah, and I'm not sure I want him in my team still. He's just there for now, but I'm not sure. I want a Liverpool attacker for obviously Everton, Forest and Luton fixtures, but I'm not confident it's going to be Mo Salah. But he is in here for now. But yeah, I need an attacker. Obviously, he's the most nailed on. And he hasn't played so far European football midweek. So we'll see if he starts on Thursday. So if he doesn't, he'll be well rested as well for the weekend. So there is that to look at as well. But for now, he's in there. I'm just not confident I'll stick with that choice. My other two midfielders here are Son and Maddison. Maddison's signing of the season so far. Son's played up front for Spurs at the minute. How can you not have these two when they've got Luton away next game? And then even that, they've got decent run of fixtures coming up as well as. So Fulham and Crystal Palace as well as. Yes, they've got Chelsea, then it's Wolves, which is also a nice fixture. So they've got good fixtures coming up. So I want both of these two for sure for those games. So those two are 100% certain to be starting in game week 8, providing there's no flagged news or injuries that'll pop up. And then finally, I've got John McGinn, right, of Aston Villa. So I've had to go for him to get this team sorted. I did have Diaby, but he's still got a knock above his head. So I've decided to go for a little bit differential here. Now, he's only got 1 goal, 1 assist this season, but he does start every game. He's Aston Villa's captain. So I think, you know what, go for something different. And now I could change it and go for Anthony Gordon. But obviously he is suspended for the next game. And I've already got obviously a cheap, terrible midfielder. So if I was to have Gordon in for this game week, I'd have to play 4 at the back instead of 3. So for now, I've got John McGinn. I mean, yes, he is not a certainty by far. It was just somebody I like the look of. He starts, Villa's fixtures are good. He's not got any flags. And he's their captain. So that's why I've gone for him. And who knows? It could work out beautiful for us if he actually bags a few goals in the next few weeks. So you just don't know. 'Cause everything does not get won on paper. Yes, Diaby looks like a tank. But that doesn't mean he's going to score the next few games. It could be somebody else. So you never know. It could be John McGinn. So that's why I've gone for John McGinn. And finally then my strikers. So Erling Haaland was always going to start up front for me. Doesn't matter what fixtures he's got. He plays for Man City and he scores goals all the time basically. I know he didn't score against Wolves, but majority of the time he's going to get your goal and everybody owns him. So he's irrelevant. I've also got Ollie Watkins. Looks knee-jerk, but honestly I had plans to always bring him in for this game week because their fixtures now are just really good and I wanted him in. Yes, he scored an hat-trick, looks knee-jerk, but before that he was always getting you an assist here and there. And he always starts as well. So obviously Darwin Núñez is something to think about as well. But he doesn't start all the time. So what's the point of having Darwin Núñez for Everton, Luton and Forest, where he might only play 45 minutes altogether in all 3 of those games? So Ollie Watkins starts, so for sure I'll go for him ahead of Darwin. There is also that option to go for Højlund, who scored 2 goals the other night. But for now, because obviously United are poor, I'm not going for him as of yet. But my final striker I do like the look of is Solanke of Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth's next 3 fixtures are Everton, Wolves and Burnley. That is decent. Not only that, yes, Man City's tough and obviously Newcastle in 12. So you'll be on my bench for those 2 fixtures. But game week 13, right, he's got Sheffield United away. That is significant because in game week 13, Arsenal have Brentford, which is tough. Aston Villa and Spurs play, so that's 6 of my players got a tough game there. And obviously I've got Gabriel, so that makes 7. Man City, I've got Liverpool. So that's Salah and Haaland with tough fixture as well. So realistically, I need some decent players for game week 13 as well. I mean, Obviously, I'll make some transfers by that point, and I will have brought some Brighton plays in by then. But I'm just saying, it's just something else to think about for game week 30. Well, further down the road anyway, because obviously that game week could be a horrible game week, providing I don't make any transfers. But like I said, next 3 fixtures for Solanke is really good. So he would be a punt. He's only like 2.4% owned as well. So I thought it'd be like a nice little differential to go for. So that's why I went with Solanke. So then, that is my team for Game Week 8. That's how it's looking for Game Week 8. Anyway, obviously, it is not guaranteed. Like I mentioned, there is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 players that I could take out and replace with tomorrow. So many things can change, but I have hit the wildcard button. It is activated. So let me know what you think of this team. What players are missing out, because I'm sure there's a player in there that I'm missing out. Don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next one.